So, good morning to all of you. In the previous class, we discussed about limit. Okay, limit means what? It's a very closer concept which is used in mathematics to define a closer concept. We use limit. Okay, limit means what? Suppose we take a function f. Okay, f is a function. Then on a particular domain, then suppose x, this x comes from what, this x comes from the domain, and y is what, y is the element of codomain. Okay, suppose we take a point, suppose a. Okay, when x approaches to a, that is when x is closer to a, then there is some particular point which is closer to y. Okay, and this particular point is called limit. Definition is already discussed in the previous class, and algebra, that means the operational limit is also discussed, and we discussed some problem also. Okay, and there I gave some formula which are used to find limit. Okay, when we solve problem using that formula, we can solve that particular problem. Okay, and in the previous class we discussed about some polynomial function, limits of some polynomial functions, and today I will discuss some problems related on trigonometric function. Okay, and I have already gave you three formula for trigonometric function, and first one is what, limit x tends to 0, sin x divided by x equals to 1. This is a very important formula which is used to find limit for trigonometric function. Okay, and similarly, limit x tends to 0, cos x is 0. Okay, and similarly there is another formula related with tan function, that is what, limit x tends to 0, tan x divided by tan x divided by x is also 1. Okay, this is same as the sine function. In sine function, we already have a formula, that is the limit x tends to 0, sin x divided by x, which is 1, and similarly we have another formula for tan function, that is the what, limit x tends to 0, tan x divided by 1 is also 1. Okay, remember this one. And similarly, limit x tends to 0, cos x is also 0. Okay, these are three formula for trigonometric function. And so let me discuss some problem and see the first problem. Here, according to the problem, this one is what, limit x tends to 5 by 6, twice sine square x plus sin x minus 1, and denominator is what, twice sine square x minus thrice sin x plus 1. Okay, and see that in such type of problem, actually in type of rational function, we cannot directly put the limiting value. Okay, but if it is a polynomial function, then directly you can put the limiting value. Okay, limiting value means what, x approaches to pi by 6, this field, this I say about this field. Okay, and for suppose polynomial function, you can directly put the limiting value, but for rational function you cannot directly put the limiting value, only because of here gx has some important concept of rational function is what, fx divided by gx, where gx does not equals to 0. It's very important. So for the rational function, cannot directly put the limiting value. Okay, are you understand? Are you understand? For the rational function, we cannot directly put the limiting value. Okay, this is an important concept. Okay, try to remember this one. Are you understand? Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, then see this problem. This one, twice sine square x plus sin x minus 1 divided by twice sine square x minus thrice sin x plus 1. Now, in the first step, our aim is to factorize these two terms. Okay, and when we factorize this one, see that twice sin square x plus sin x minus 1. This one is what? Twice sin x minus 1 into sin x plus 1. Okay, because it can be written as twice sin square x plus twice sin x minus sin x. Okay, so it gives that after factorization we gave like as twice sin x minus 1 into sin x plus 1. Okay, here we skip a one step. Okay, skipping step is what? Twice sin square x plus sin x. It can be written as plus twice sin x minus sin x minus 1. So after factorizing, it is what? Twice sin x minus 1 into bracket of sin x plus 1. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear? Similarly, for the second one, twice sin square x minus thrice sin x plus 1. For this sum, see that this can be written as minus thrice sin x can be written as minus twice sin x plus, minus sin x, twice sin square x minus twice sin x minus sin x plus 1. So it gives this one, twice sin x minus 1 into sin x minus. Is it clear? Just we factorize these two terms. Okay, is it clear? Hello, 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 any doubt? Please respond. Any doubt in this step? Hello.
No ma'am, no doubt.
Okay then. Now it can be written as twice sin x minus 1 into this one. Okay, now see that these and these terms are same, so we can cancel both of them. After cancelling, we get this one is sin limit x tends to pi by 6 sin x plus 1 divided by sin x minus 1. Now you can put the value limiting value. Okay, this one is what? 1, because we cannot factorize this one. Okay, so if we put suppose sin, if we put the limiting value, then what we get, this does not equals to 0, so we can directly put this. Okay, if suppose x tends to pi by 2, if x tends to pi by 2, then in that case we cannot write this one, because if x tends to see this one, if x, this one is x tends to pi by 6, but if suppose this one is x tends to pi by 2, then it will give what? Sin pi by 2, and sin pi by 2 will be what? Sin pi by 2 will be what? If suppose x approaches to pi by 2, then in this step we put sin pi by 2. And now tell me, sin pi by 2 will be what? Sin pi by 2 will be what? Saranga? Sin pi by 2 will be what? Arnab Jyoti? Sin pi by 2 will be what? Hello? Hello? It's very easy. In the class 10 standard, you have already know about that one. Then tell me, sin pi by 2 equals to what? Hello? Hello?
1.
Yeah, sin pi by 2 equals to 1. So if suppose sin x approach to pi by 2, then it will be what? 1. And 1 minus 1, it gives what? 1 minus 1, it gives 0, isn't it? Hello? Hello? Are you listening me properly?
Yes ma'am.
Then see this one. If suppose a limiting value is pi by 2, suppose suppose x approaches to pi by 2, then it will be what? Sin pi by 2. Sin pi by 2 will be what? 1. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear? Then in this step, sin pi by 2 will be 1, so it will give us what? 1. 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1, it is 0. Is it possible? Now tell me, is it possible? Hello? 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 Suppose this one will be sin pi by 2. Sin pi by 2 will be 1. 1 minus 1. It will what? It gives the value 0. So now tell me, is it possible? Is it possible or
No,
not?
ma'am.
For the rational function, suppose gx is 0. Is it possible? Is it possible or not? Hello? Hello? Yeah, someone writing, it is not possible. So, in that case, we what we do? We multiply this term by its conjugate. But here see that this one is not pi by 2, so we can directly put the limiting value. Okay? Okay, is it clear? But here this one is sin pi by 6. Sin pi by 6 equals to what? Sin 30. Sin 30 will be half, so we can put the value. But if suppose this one is pi by 2, in this step we cannot directly put the limiting value, because when we put this one is pi by 2, then value will be what? 1 minus 1, it is 0, so it is not possible. For that, what we do? We multiply this term by its conjugate. Conjugate means what? Sin x minus 1. Conjugate of this one is what? Sin x plus 1. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear now? Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And but here see that this one is sin pi by 6, so we can directly put the limiting value. And after putting the limiting value, we get the value will be minus 3. Okay? See the next problem. Next problem is limit x tends to 0, 10x minus sin x divided by sin cube x. Okay? Sin cube x, limit x tends to 0, 10x minus sin x divided by sin cube x. Okay? Next problem says that this one is limit x tends to 0, 10x minus sin x divided by sin cube x. Now see that this one is 10x, this one is sin x, this one is also sin x. Now, is there any relation between 10x and sin x? Is there any relation between 10x and sin x? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me the relation between sin x and 10x?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me. 10x is what? 10x can be write as 10x can be write as what? Sin x divided by cos x. Isn't it?
Okay.
Tan x is what? Sin x divided by cos x, is not it? Tan x can be write as sin x divided by cos x, is not it? Is it true?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tan x is what? Tan x is sin x divided by cos x. Is it true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because this one is other terms is sin x. So we have a relation between sin x and tan x. So we can write tan x like as what? Sin x divided by cos x. Okay. So in the second step, we write in the place of tan x, we write sin x divided by cos x. And this one will be what? Minus 1. Okay. After that, this one is what? Tan x by cos x minus sin x. Okay. Here one step is speaking. I say that this one is sin x divided by cos x minus sin x. After that, you can take common tan x. So it will gives us what? If we common sin x, then it gives us 1 by cos x minus 1. There is a bracket between these terms. Okay. Sin x, this one is because this one is sin x divided by cos x minus sin x. So if we take common sin x, then sin x comes in the outside, so remaining term will be what? In the bracket, remaining term will be what? 1 minus cos x minus 1. There is a bracket between this and this. Okay. And this one is what? Denominator is what? Sin cube x. Okay. Now see that this one is 1 minus cos x. 1 minus cos x because we cancel this one. Sin x into sin x. Here there is a bracket between this one. 1 by cos x minus 1. Now you can cancel this term because this one is sin cube x. So it will gives us what? A sin x. It will gives us what? Sin square x. And here it will be what? 1 minus cos x. Okay. Is there any doubt in this step?
So,
Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, see the next step. Here this one is cos x sin square x and 1 minus cos x. 1 minus cos x is what? Twice sin square x by 2. Because 1 is what? 1 can be write as sin square plus cos square. It is what? Sin square plus cos square equals to 1. Okay. So it will gives us, if we write this one and cos x, cos x can be write as cos 2 into x by 2. 2 into x by 2, that means this one is what? Cos twice x. Cos twice x means what? Cos square x by 2 minus sin square x by 2. Then cos square x by 2 cos and for this part there is a term cos square x by 2. So cos square x by 2 and cos square x by 2 will be cancelled. After that there is what? For the one term there is a sin square sin square x by 2, and for the second part there is also another term which one is what? Plus sin square x by 2. So after adding we get this one is twice sin square x by 2. Okay. Here one step is also skipped. Here for one write as sin square x by 2 plus cos square x by 2. Okay. And here for minus cos x, for these terms write as cos 2 into x by 2. For this term write like as cos 2 into x by 2. Cos 2 into x by 2 means what? Cos twice x. Cos twice x is what? Cos square x by 2 minus sin square x by 2. Okay. So after simplifying we get this one is twice sin square x by 2. And for this one cos cos x is remaining same, and for sine square x by 2, we can write this one will be 4 sine square x by 2 into cos square x by 2. Okay, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Because our aim is what? We know that sin x will be sine, because limiting value is what? X tends to 0. So if we directly put this one, directly put the limiting value sin 0, sin 0 will give what? Gives 0. So denominator will be 0. It is not possible. So our aim is to cancel this part. Our aim is to remove sin x from the denominator. Okay, so we can write cos x into 4 into this one. Okay, 4 sine square x by 2 cos square. Now see that this term will be cancelled. Okay, now see that cos x, limit x tends to 0, cos 0. Cos 0 will be what? Cos 0 will be 1. So it will be what? 1. Here 2 is left. It will gives us, this one will be 1. For this one it also gives us 1, and here is it, here is a 2. So it finally it gives us 1 by 2. Okay, have you understand? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then go to the next problem. This type of question will be comes in the exam. So try to understand properly. Okay. And see the next problem. Next problem gives that limit x tends to a, root over a plus twice x minus root over thrice x, divided by root over thrice a plus x minus twice root over a. Okay. Here limiting value is what? X approaches to what? Here x approaches to what? Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Here x approaches to what? See the example number 16. Here x approaches to what?
X approaches to A.
X approaches to a. Okay. Now tell me, if we put directly the limiting value, denominator will be what? Anyone please respond. If we put directly the limiting value, denominator will be what? See this part. This one is what? Root over thrice a plus x minus root over x. Here see that if we put directly the value of x, then it will be what? Sudhir? Hello? 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 Yeah, Sudhir, go ahead. It may be wrong. Just tell me, if we put that directly, the limiting value, this gives what? Hello? 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 Sudhir? Sangyukta? Arnab? Please respond. See the problem. If we put directly as x closest to a, it will give us root over thrice a plus a. Okay, this one will be what? Minus root over a. Okay, root over thrice a plus a. This gives what? 4a. Root over 4a. So it comes as what? Twice root over a. Twice root over a minus twice root over a. It will be what? It will be 0. Is not it? Are you clear? Hello? 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 Okay, then this one will be what? Twice root over a minus twice root over a, it will be 0. Okay, so here we here we multiply this term by its conjugate. Okay, and conjugate of this one, root over thrice a plus x minus hello, are you listening me properly? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Are you listening me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me, if we put the limiting value is here, limiting value is here, what? Limiting value means x approaches to what? Sangyukta?
মেম কি কৈ আছে ভালকে অহা নাই আপোনাৰ মাতটো
এতিয়া শুনিছা নাই?
মেম ভাঙা ভাঙা হেনকে আহি আছে কিবা
x approaches to what? Limiting value to ইয়াত কি হেতু সুধি আছো মই। শুনিছা?
ইয়েছ মেম
এতিয়া কোৱা x approaches to what? এই প্ৰবলেমটোৰ কাৰণে x এ ক'ত approach কৰি আছে? x tends to কি? ভ্যালুটো কি ইয়াতে?
এ
a হয়নে? এতিয়া চোৱা প্ৰবলেমটো চোৱা। root over thrice a plus x যদি আমি ডাইৰেক্টলি ইয়াতে x ৰ ভ্যালুটো বহাই দিও তেতিয়া ইয়াতে কি হ'ব? If we put directly the value of x, then what we give? What it gives?
3a plus a
Root over thrice a plus a.
3 plus a
হয়নে? তেতিয়া হেতু আমি কি পাম? Root over thrice a plus a. That is, this one is what? Root over 4a. Is it clear?
yes ma'am
And see the next term. Next term is what? Minus twice. X ৰ প্লেচত কি আহিব? A আহিব। হয়নে?
oh,
So it will gives us like twice root over a. Okay, and see the first term, root over thrice a plus a is it is equals to what? Root over 4a. Is it clear?
yes ma'am
So root over 4a, root over 4a means what? Twice root over a, is not it? root over 4a. That means what? Twice root over a. Is not it? So see that plus twice root over a minus twice root over a. This is equals to what? Twice root over a minus twice root over a. This is equals to what? See this one, twice root over a, for this term we will get twice root over a minus twice root over a. This equals to what? Array, twice root over a minus twice root over a. This equals to what? Are you listening me?
Ma'am, 0.
0. Twice root over a minus twice root over a. It is 0. It's very simple. Twice root over a minus twice root over a, because number is same, so it will be 0, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now see that, is it possible? Is it possible? Denominator will be 0. Is it possible?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So for that type of problem, if this part is 0, first try to put the value x tends to a, put the limiting value. If you get this one will be 0, then you cannot go ahead. Okay, is it clear?
Yes,
If this term will be 0, then you cannot go ahead. Now is it clear?
yes, ma'am.
So for that type of problem, what we do? We multiply the term by its conjugate. Are you know about conjugate of a number? This one will be what? Root over thrice a plus x minus twice root over x. Conjugate of this term will be what? Root over thrice a plus x plus twice root over x. Okay? Now is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So multiplying by its conjugate, ultimately we get, this will be like that one. Just multiply by its conjugate. Okay? And after multiplying by its conjugate, finally we get this term. After simplifying, finally we get this one. For that type of problem, first see, here I give an example just. First see that if this one will be 0 or not. Okay? Step is what? First you have to check if it is 0 or not. Okay? If it does not equals to 0, then you can proceed. You can proceed, you can put the limiting value. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear? If suppose this one does not equal to
Yes, ma'am.
0, first put the limiting value. If suppose if this does not equal to 0, then you can proceed. By putting the limiting value, you can directly get the limit. Okay? Suppose if this, after putting the limiting value, if suppose this one equals to 0, then you cannot go ahead. Okay? For that type of problem, you can use another technique. Okay, and for here see that for this type of problem, to get the limit, you have to multiply the terms by its conjugate. Okay, now is it clear? Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
So after multiplying by its conjugate, we get, finally we get like that one. These are some simplifications. Just here, just we multiply by its conjugate. After multiplying that, we get finally this value. Okay. Now you can put the limiting value, because here suppose see that twice x, this one will be what? Here plus symbol will come, so it is not 0. Now for that step you can put x equals to 0. Okay, is it clear now? Is it clear?
Yes.
And finally we get the answer like this one. Okay, so these are some problems. Now let's some homework. Have you done the homework which are given in the previous class? A few students has done, and I asked the others to do your homework. Okay, and now for today write this one. Write problem number 14, 15 and 18. Okay, write this one. Write problem number 14, 15 and 16. These are the homework for today. Okay, and write problem number 14 says that if n, find n if limit x tends to 2 x bar. Write it, write your homework. Find n if limit x tends to 2 x power n minus 2 power n divided by x minus 2 equals to 80. Formula for this type of problem is already given in the previous class. Formula is what? Limit x tends to a, x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a is what? N into a to the power n minus 1. It's already discussed. Find n if limit x tends to 2 x power n minus 2 power n divided by x minus 2 equals to 80. And write the second one. Limit x tends to a sin 5x divided by sin 7x. Second problem is limit x tends to a sin 5x divided by sin 7x. Limit x tends to a sin 5x divided by sin 7x. Okay, and the last problem is limit x tends to 0 sin squared twice x divided by sin squared 4x. Write the third problem. Third problem is limit x tends to 0 sin squared twice x divided by sin squared 4x. Okay? Are you right? Are you right the problem? I ask all of you. Are you right the problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then, try to solve it and after that submit in the group. Okay? And for today, here I stop. Okay then, thank you. And give your attendance through the group. Okay? So, thank you.